GCK King's Circle with Pastor Dr. W.F. Kumuyi.
I am Desmond Neboe. Welcome to the GCK King's Circle, where princes, princesses, kings, and queens are nested, nurtured, and knitted for royalty.
Thank you, Desmond.
You're welcome, Mary.
Today's episode is a stirring one, which stems into our everyday life. I am Mary, your co-host for today.
So, Mary, are you familiar with the book Gifted Hands by Dr. Ben Carson, a world-renowned neurosurgeon? How he moved from mediocrity to becoming a master?
Yes, I am very familiar with that book. And I understand that every journey begins with a single step. But what if that journey is one that takes you from being a mediocre to being the best you can be?
That's right. And that's why today, our convener, Dr. W.F. Kumuyi, will share insights on how he also changed his story from mediocrity to mastery.
But just before we proceed, let's listen to this soul-lifting song.
Hear the silence, hear the sound. Hear the faithful cry aloud. We want to see your miracle right before our eyes. Too soon to give up or give in. Speak the word. Speak the word. I'm living. We'll see them stand again. Lord, hear our cry.
Dear champ, I understand it is not easy to change your story, but one thing is certain, it is very possible.
Yeah, it is possible. So on today's episode, we are focused specifically on you, changing your story and becoming the champion that you are meant to be. So join us on this journey as Dr. W.F. Kumuyi takes us on the journey.
As I look back at Paul, as I look back at myself, and maybe as we look back to your very life, in your journey, what have we seen as the race from mediocrity to mastery? Number one, the paralysis of mediocrity. You know, mediocrity paralyzes us, paralyzes our mind. Mediocrity paralyzes our intention. Mediocrity makes us like that man at the gate in the Jerusalem temple. He was there only begging for alms. Mediocrity makes us paralyzed, begging when we should be rising up and moving. Number two, the prodigals reduced to mediocres. Prodigals are those who run away from home, who run away from school, who run away from their families, who run away from responsibility. Number three now is the purpose of your maker. One day I woke up and then I reflected. I said, what's the meaning of my name? What's the meaning of my first name, second name, and then the final name? It's like I've been sleeping. You will wake up. If somebody sleeps perpetually, he will not fulfill the goal and the purpose of the maker. The Lord has not created us to sleep perpetually. Waking up to the purpose of your maker. And this week will make a turning point in your life in Jesus' name. And the next thing, after you wake up to the purpose of your maker, is the passion for upward movement. The passion. All of a sudden, I found myself having goals, setting goals, looking up, having vision, having destiny, and making everything within me to cooperate and have determination that this that God has called me to, I will have passion and zeal, excitement about it. I'll be a man of one direction, a man of one goal. You come to that point in your life when you say, now I know the purpose of the calling of God upon my life, the purpose of my creation, and then I come with passion for an upward movement. Number 5 is the process of mending. Process of mending. All the years of my past life that I wasted, I needed to do remedial learning, because if I don't know the basics, I'll not be able to build on anything. And so as I woke up and I say, no more mediocrity, I'm not going to be a prodigal anymore. I've discovered the purpose of my maker for my life. And then I come with passion and with zeal and with drive to get for an onward movement. I needed to mend all the things of the past. Was I lazy in the past? Yes, I mended that. Was I distracted in the past? Yes, I had to mend that. Was I sometimes discouraged in despair? Yes, I had to mend that. Was I just going here and there without knowing what I was going to achieve? Yes, I had to mend that. I had to mend my principles. I had to mend my practices. I had to mend my personality. I had to mend everything around that would drag me down. And then number 6 is the perseverance with motivation. Motivation. Motivation, you know, motivation is the self-talk that you have, the inner talk that you have. You speaking to yourself and meditating on that, saying, I am a very important person. I am here at this moment, this day, this week, this year, in this life for a purpose. I am going to be an achiever. I am going to be a mentor of other people. I am going to do what God says I can do. I am going to be what God says I must be. There is the inner motivation, that is encouraging yourself in the Lord, knowing here is why I am here and I will make it. And then you persevere. Of course, challenges will come. I read that thing I don't understand. Read it again. I tried to solve that problem. I couldn't solve. Try it again. I tried to move up. I tried to be who I ought to be, and I couldn't. Do it again. The perseverance with motivation. And then number 7, the pursuit of mastery. Now, as we go through all that, you might be starting at number 1. Paralysis or mediocrity. Don't let that encourage you, and then you will move on. You might be starting at number 3, the purpose of your maker. You are not late. God is not late. He can do in 1 week what has not been done in 10 years. Then perseverance, that's what we call stickability. Stickability. You stick to it like a postage stamp sticks to that envelope. If the postage stamp does not stick to that envelope, the envelope will not get to where it was destined. Stickability, you stick to it, you persevere in it with motivation, knowing that your life will amount to something. Your life will amount to something.
Thank you for joining us today. Mark your calendar, because today is that day your story begins to change. However, like Jabez, you need to take ownership of your story and begin to take actions that makes you ascend into mastery.
Absolutely. Become a world changer for Christ.
We believe that you've been impacted. Pastor Dr. W.F. Kumuyi would love to hear from you. Please visit our social media platforms and don't forget to join us on the next episode of GKC King's Circle. Be your dream, be royal.